the table, not round, no square, no triangle. We come to hang and have a game on Fridays as we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're nice around the table, our host is formidable. He runs his trains, loves insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's automatic, Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Label, quite incomprehensible. No wrenching and we have no plan but to sit and hear Dodge babble. It's a lady time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
See it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody, it's Friday again. And for some people it's a good Friday. For other people it's just another Friday. And for some people it's been a not good Friday, but there it is. So before I go on to anything else, let me just answer this question real quick. Brian, anything that says Märklin on it, rolling stock or rails equipment, except for their control systems, is strictly 3-rail. Anything Märklin releases that would be 2-rail, they release under the name Trix, Trix, as in silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. So that's their 2-rail division. So they release 3-rail. Now, back in the day, you can find some stuff that says Märklin Hamo, Hamo. And before they acquired Trix, Hamo was their 2-rail division with 2-rail track and 2-rail locomotives and stuff. But that way I would remember to answer that question. So if you go to a show and you see a couple of beautiful coaches or freight cars and they say Märklin on them and you run a 2-rail system, you're either going to have to turn around and buy new wheel sets for them because the Märklin ones are not insulated, or you're going to have to pass on them and look for the same thing in Trix. All right, let's see who's here today. We've got Sir Tim of Dowd, the CEO. Sir Andy, 81, is here. We've got Sir Lee of Anfield Road, is spray airbrushing a footbridge. We've got Sir Scott from Balcurvey. Sir Brian of Jemsky is here. Sir Chuck Schreiber is here. Sir Brian from Clintonville is here. Sir Greg from Great Northern is here. Sir Andy, the hot dog pilot, is here. We've got Sir Kalmar from Kalmar Union is here, since I still don't know your first name. We've got Sir Andy from March West Junction. We've got Sir Mick, the Royal Barkeep, is here from Edgeley Park Station. We've got Sir William from New Fenris. Great to have you and seeing you around all the chats again. I just, Sundays anymore, after Andy's live stream, I just don't get a chance to watch all the builder live streams, so I don't see people like Dragon Lover or Z Fantasy or that anymore. Sir Ray Bobel is here. Sir KJ is here. And going back to Sir Ray, glad to hear you got the item you won last week. Sir KJ is here. Sir Tom of Couples is here. Sir Tom of Houston is here. Sir Chris from the Valleys is here. Sir Tom Couples, of course, being our current Sergeant at Arms in place of the great Joseph Aglimanto, who moved away. I know earlier on we had Sir Rayron was here, and we had Sir Travis from Travis Adventures. So, other than working on what you saw in that video, I didn't do a lot since I put that video up. Managed to kind of wrench my back a bit, but I did clear all the books off the shelves and that were in there, all the books I want to get rid of. There's still a few books that I want to hang on to, but yeah, I did get rid of a lot of those. Well, there's Sir Al. Nice to have talked to you today, Lord Al. Welcome in. Yep. And did I see Sir Ifo Van Zon has popped in? There we go. All right. So, but yeah, I've cleared out the books, took them out to the recycling bin, and we'll recycle what can be recycled and throw away what has to be thrown away. But definitely making more space. I got the top of that bookcase cleared off. So now I just need to go buy wood to run through that two closets, the toy closet and the under the stairs closet, and then onto that bookcase and get that all set up. That's going to take a little bit of jerry rigging to move things around a bit. There are just a couple little things that were in there that are going to be a bit of a challenge. Hey, Sir Dino is here. Hello, Dino. Yeah, and again, the big thing is I've got all these projects, and the issue is, yeah, Victory Games used to be near you because Victory Games was owned by Avalon Hill, and Avalon Hill was based in Baltimore, Maryland. And Victory Games had an office in Baltimore, and then they moved it outside of Boston before they went belly up, because basically Avalon Hill went belly up. But Victory Games was a bunch of creators, content creators that had worked for a previous company called SPI, which was one of the big war game makers in the late 70s, very early 80s, but they went belly up around 82, 83. And a lot of these guys had games in production for SPI. SPI had games in production. So Avalon Hill bought the contracts to these games and the creators, and they created a separate division called Victory Games. So Victory Games is sort of like SPI owned by Avalon Hill. Of course, most of SPI was bought out by TSR, the people who own, or at the time, owned Dungeons and Dragons licenses before they sold that off to corporate America. Hello, Jean Ricard. All right. So, Sir Jean, welcome in from Denmark. So I have gotten more unseen done. I am doing something stupid. I'm bidding on a train on eBay. I'm hoping I'll get outbid, but we'll see what happens. Hey, we've got Sir Francisco Hernandez. Welcome in, welcome in. Great to have you here. Francisco Soto Hernandez. So great to have you. Or Hernandez, if I was going to say it. But anyhow, it's really just one of these things where I have to do a little of one project so I can then do this project, which will then open up this project. So it's a round robin. I got to do a little bit of one project to get on to the next project, to get on to the next project, and then go back and continue on the first project. The only thing, and the big thing is it's not that I've lost mojo or anything. I am just by static state. I am an example of the physical personification of the law of inertia. I am quite comfortable sitting and not doing anything. I get up in the morning, I work out, I do all my morning routines, I go downstairs, I play on my computer, I've got games I play, I read some books, I try to watch some YouTube TV, and my brain's going, okay, today we're going to go downstairs and get to work on this little project. And I'm like, yeah, after this chapter. Oh, wait, this got interesting. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, oh, one more round of this game. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, one more video. This guy just posted a 20-minute video. All right. And then all of a sudden it's 7 o'clock at night and I haven't done a damn thing. So I do have that static state where so I've got things that have been sitting for a couple of weeks that really would take me 20, 30 minutes to go over there, do the basics, patch it up, and have the Fowler car system running. Because the Fowler car system works. Everything's good on it. It's just I've got to fix the 3 areas where the ski. There were 6. I have fixed 3, but I've got 3 other areas that I need to kind of do some shaving where the seams come together. There's a little bit of a divot in the foam board and blah, blah, blah. Hey, Sir Hi, welcome in. Sir Hi, welcome in. Did I see Sir Victor is back? That's great to have you. And so really the big thing is my passion has been, I've been working on that model very slowly, the model of the Delmenhorst Church. And it's at a point where all I got to do is get these shutters on. And I've got bags and bags of leftover parts from other models. But do I have any tall enough shutters? No. 3D print them. No, my 3D printer's on the fritz. Ugh. I don't know what happened. I started doing a print and it started it off. And then I came back an hour later to check on it. And it had gotten snagged on something. And what happened is it has been the big head base where the nozzle is. The filament has been melting and getting snagged and curling up and filling up inside there. Twice now I've had this big ball of filament that I've had to heat the nozzle up to get it loose enough to get in there with a little razor file and shave all this foam off. So I don't know what's causing that. I'm trying to go into settings and I'm working on things and trying to figure out. And unfortunately, the company discontinued this model. So spare parts of this model, like a new nozzle or a new nozzle unit, are not available. So it was a great 3D printer. I had so much success with this when I was test printing all these buildings, some that kinds printing, others you see the gray buildings. The orange ones are from the previous printer, but all the gray buildings over here that I've never painted. Anyhow, so yeah, it's just getting me to go. So anyhow, before I get on to trains, last week, one of the things I'm talking about, hey, Dame Maura, how are? So anyhow, I just like to welcome everybody in. Last week, one of the things I even mentioned in the video is I'm starting to get rid of some of the 2-rail stuff. Now, again, almost all the 2-rail stuff I can run down here. Actually, all the 2-rail stuff I could run down here, except one of them is digital and 2-rail. But otherwise, I could run it all down here on the 00 layout. But they're either duplicates of trains I have, or they're ones I'm just not that into. So last week I gave away one. Rabel Bell won it. And I have 2 this week that I'm giving these away. I've had a couple of people go, you should sell them. You should sell them. I'm not like that. I'm not using them. I want to give them away. The first one is this bad boy. It is a Bavarian class 18 or an S3/6. But it's a Bavarian. Class 18 locomotive or S36. And this is 2-rail. It works beautifully. But I do want to point out, if you could see, there's some green electrical tape in there. That is because when I got this, the drawbar connecting the two was broken and had been patched. The patch was struggling. So I reinforced the patch. I re-glued some things and I splinted up. And I put the green tape over that just to make sure while it's rubbing, if it's rubbing inside, that it didn't rub the splints and cause the splints to heat up. So it works great, and it's free. So if anybody would be interested in this, and again, there's no box to it. I'm sorry, I would have to wrap it up delicately and ship it to you. But it's totally free. So if somebody wants a German Class 18, just let me know here. Raymond Legg says you're interested in it. Is there anybody else that would be interested in it? It's 2-rail HO scale. Are you interested in this one? Even with my blatant repair job, but this ran during its run once for 3 hours down here, and it ran during the Oktoberfest and the Steamer Palooza. So it's got some time on it. So I've got several people interested in it. And what I think I'll do this time, rather than do it live, so if anybody is watching the background or watching on makeup and say they'd be interested, what I'd like you to do is please, if you'd remember, in the comment section after this video, although in some ways you can put comments while the live stream's on, just tell me you're interested in the steamer, because I do have one other train I would like to give away. Okay, I have one other one. I am not worried about that high. The biggest thing is what you would have to pay once it got there. Could I imagine a Porsche Polar Express? Hello, Sir Dominic. Off the top of my head, no. But now that you mention it, sure, I can mention it. I can imagine it. Okay, the other one. Hey there, Simon, SJ Train World. So I'm covering costs. It won't hurt me. The only thing is if you're overseas and you want it, like, again, this 2-rail. And I'll do the drawings. I'll do a special video, maybe even a live video later in the week. And we'll do a live giveaway for the people who say they're interested. But if you're interested in that, and I'll advertise these a couple more times during the show. The other one I have is this one. This is DCC ready. It works in analog right now, but it has a blinking plate, and you can add an 8-pin decoder for it. This is Piko's hobby range. And what you can see is in the middle here, rather than have actual windows, they have the little sticker decal. They have actual glazing in windows and the front. But on the side, you got sort of this. But I actually have one of these. And in fact, it ran last week or the week before. I forget which week. I have one of these in 3-rail, so I don't need this. I have this locomotive. This is a Class 218, and it comes with 3 coaches. It comes with 3 coaches, 2 second-class coaches, and then a first-class board bistro class coach at the bottom. Okay, so this is a German IC1, and you already have one of those. Maybe so, Ifo. I'm not worried about that. I'm giving it away for free. So again, if you're interested, this is a 218 with the 3 cars. So this is a diesel. And then we got the steamer. I'd like to give these away and get them out of the house. So, yeah, the BMZ coaches, again, you either are interested in them or you're not. And so We don't have to get into a contest of who knows more about what, the BPMZ type of seating, and that's what this type of wagon is. That's what that type of wagon is. These are not me releasing them as a company. I am just saying, if you want something for free, I got them. All right, so let's go to which trains I'm running today. Let's get it going. Today, I'm running trains today. Yeah, DHL sending is costly. I actually would probably do the post office, or even, I might even dare I do FedEx. But anyhow, on line one, we are running for the first time in almost 2 months, about 6-7 weeks. We have the Austrian Railjet making a return to the live stream. And for the heck of it, I've got a German ICE2, although at this angle you wouldn't necessarily know if it was ICE1 or ICE2. Really aficionado guys might. But the only way you can tell is the second car. If both cars don't have seating, it's an ICE1. If you see this one coming around, you'll see the other cab car has windows for seating, which means it's an ICE2. Yeah, French Post can be crazy, but it's not nearly as hard to send out as it is to receive from overseas right now. Okay, so in line 3, this is an experiment. I am running. This guy has not run in a while on neither of these two, but this is the horses livery. I don't know. I'll try to move. Whoops. Hey, you. Horses. There we go. Yeah. Anyhow, I want to move this guy up so you can see. This is a great livery if you can see it up close. On camera and TV, it doesn't show up, but it's got a bunch of horses on it. And it says, we have the power of 8,700 horses on the rails. But this guy has not done an outer loop in about 3 years, and he's pulling the container train. I did about 3-4 practice lanes. He seemed to be okay. It seemed to handle the going up the incline with this long freight. So I wanted to pick out some of my cooler looking freight locos, guys that haven't run a little bit. So I've got the horses that are going right now. And then, of course, the other one is the fire, which is easier to see. Wir brennen für das, was wir tun. We burn for what we do. So we'll get him going, or her. I'm sorry, I do genderize things. Sometimes it's a she, sometimes it's a he. There's no way of guessing. And he's kind of pulling a Cayenne train, although I took some cars off. But this was a train Cayenne had kind of put together last week when we were doing the live stream. It was one of the three. Did the very first generation have oval? I will have to look. I've got one model over there that is the experimental. But yeah, they have the passenger coaches all have oval windows. And then, I'm sorry, I'm taking my time doing this. I'm just double checking, making sure folks are working. In line 5, I've got the Flixtrain, just that nice little color green. Flix is a private express company. I don't think they run trains in the UK, but they run buses in the UK. Joyce and I took a Flix bus and ferry from Copenhagen to Rostock, Germany last summer. God, it's hard to believe that trip was almost a year ago. Yeah, I do too, Chris. I like, What did we have here? Oh, that's not good. Hang on. We got a small problem here. What happened? What happened? Somebody derailed. That's what happened. What did you derail for? Ah, dudes. What up with that? Yeah, you are all discombobulated. How am I going to... Well, let's get this guy out of the way. Sadly, I stopped everything, but yeah, the Flixtrain had a derail right at the station, so it caught another car on the other lane and created a little bit of a... Oh. Are you all derailed now? Yep. Well, that feels like everybody, but that should be enough to bring you around and give you a closer look at it the other way. Ah, well, didn't even get them all started without a gremlin. Not sure why that happened, but it happened. And then way in the back, I'm running my little Regio NordWestBahn 648, also known as a class, Lint Class 41. All right, Flix, what is going on with you? This is really annoying me. You two coaches are not... Oh, you are locked up. You are not stretching out like you're supposed to. Huh. Oh, that. All right. Well, while I deal with that, let's go ahead and get the guys on the floor. I don't know if all right, let's see if that fixed the Flixtrain up. Okay, so now we'll get the guys on the floor going. And hopefully, some reason that coupler was sticking. On the outer lane, I'm running the Beatles Eurostar Yellow Submarine, or the Eurostar based on the 30th anniversary of Beatles Yellow Submarine. And somebody's already derailed. Okay, so it's the lead right there. Let's see if that solves that problem. All right, and then in the other lane, we are running the HST Class 43 Swallow Livery, one of my favorite looking trains in the world. I don't know why. I don't know why I do, but I do love the Swallow Livery. Okay. All right, let me catch up with chat. Well, welcome, Happy Cat. I don't know, Mick. I don't know. The team is not playing well in the league this year. It has been a very disappointing league season after finally winning the league again last year. They have just, when they get into league games and they just play completely uninspired and bad football. I have not enjoyed watching them. In the UEFA Cup, there's definitely a fire. They're playing well. But in the league, they have just looked like crap all season long. Especially against teams they should just destroy. Well, hello, Sir Andy from Warwick. How awesome to see you. And Sir Randall. Well, it just depends on which Beatles train, Randall, because I've got 3 Beatle trains. I've got the albums train, the singles train, and then the Yellow Submarine Anniversary Eurostar, which is both my favorite of my Beatle trains, but also the crappiest quality, which is saying something because those Beatle album wagons are not great quality either. Dude, why are you derailing? Uh-oh. All right, British trains, why are you being so problematic today? Beatles, you are really ticking me off here. Oh. It goes about 2 lines and then it derails. And there it goes. Oh, you're annoying me. There's definitely something mentally malfeasant with you. Now I have a hunch you're going to cause the back one to uncouple. Yep. Stop being a spoil sport. All right. I give up on it. I'll change something out later. Problems everywhere. Now what? Somebody's... You're okay? Aha. Figures. The gremlins are out today, my friends. I'm sorry. You're a little annoying ass. Are you the problematic one? All right, let's see. Got a couple of cars being derailing jerks again. Those little red tarpaulin cars are such a problem. Dude, stop derailing. You just derailed as soon as I re-railed you. What the hell? Screw it. There's something wrong with the coupler on that lead engine for the yellow submarine. Hello, Sir Jeff. Sorry, everybody. Well, no, I had the update last weekend, Gremlins, and I haven't had Gremlins in a few weeks, so Yeah, just a couple little issues. The Beatles Eurostar has become problematic, and it's all in the swing arm coupler of the power end. For some reason, it will jam up and cause itself to derail off the car in front of it. I was hoping that turning the couplers around might solve the problem, but it didn't. I hate the hook and pin coupling system. But all right. And did that dude derail again? Caused a complete reboot of my system. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Who is messed up now? No, you're okay. You're okay. Railjet looks okay. Huh. I'm not seeing anybody. Oh, all right. Now I'm really confused. I'm not sure what's causing the short. And we've got a major short. Huh. Well, I am totally confuzzled. I cannot find what is causing the issue unless somebody lost. Oh. Well, this may be a short live stream today. Nope, same problem. Somebody is major league fricked up. Did somebody... Wow, I can't figure this out unless it's the ICE2. Maybe. Let me see if this sorts it. Nope. I'm sorry, guys. I'm ignoring this because I have got a major short that I can't figure out. Well, let's do a complete reboot of the system and see if I can figure out what happened. Hey, Artie, Sir Fix-Lot. Sorry, guys. We've got a major problem, and I can't find out where it's at. Well, this is not going to be a fun day, is it? Yeah, figures. Oh, these guys are a piece of crap. Oh, boy. Sorry, my friends. I cannot source this. I do not know. There's got to be... Basically, it's as if somebody is contacting between a rail and the center point, and I can't find anybody derailed or all right, let me see if it's this guy. He's the only one I can't reach. Yep. Okay, we may have finally found the darn problem. Oh, figures. It's always the last one you check, right? Bingo. Okay. It was the guy on the inner loop. Okay. Let's put this guy back on track. Oh, it's been that kind of a day. Are we good? He's good. He's good. Let's see if we can get everybody else going. You're running the wrong way, boss. I don't know why that guy derailed. He's never derailed, ever. All right, just give me a few seconds while I sort out all these issues. Sorry, it was my little 648 derailed, and he was around the corner, and I couldn't see him. And he was clearly derailed. And he's got a middle rail and a middle pivot, so just give me a minute, get everybody else back into motion after I had everything going well for a couple of minutes. Sometimes the gremlins just want to be aggressive. 50 minutes in, and I've yet to relax. You would do that to me, wouldn't you? And yeah, the ICE2 just derailed. I can't buy a brake right now. This is what I get for cleaning everything. Oh, can I reach you? Okay. Back in business. Well, I hope you guys are keeping each other entertained because I'm certainly not doing anything. Hey! Yeah, happy Easter to those who celebrate. Oh my God. What in the hell? What are you doing pulling out? shit, what is going on today? Just random trains. Oh, I think I'll pull out. My ICE4 just randomly decided to pull out and crashed on lane 2 with the freight train there. Holy crap, what is going on? About to call it quits. All right, now I got to find ICE4 control. Oh my God, an hour in and it's been one problem after another today. What did I do to the train gods today? I'm sorry, my friends. I'm just... fighting with a curse today. Yeah, it lost its spring somewhere. All right. The joys of going live. Well, I think I've gone 5 minutes now without anything wrong. Let's not invite the jinxes, but whoo. Thanks, Chuck. Funny thing is, I came in with one concern, especially after I test ran everything on Wednesday and yesterday. My only concern was that this one Vectron, the 193 with the horse livery, going uphill with this line of container cars. Anybody tried a hamster burger? If it's made real hamster? No. but not sure what caused that 648 to derail, which started all of this, at least up top. And then it's just been one little goof after another. And relax. Indeed, Chris. Indeed. But yeah, those two Vectrons there, the fire and the flame, I bought those. It's got to be 4 years ago now, 4 years ago. I wanted to buy one. It was going to be my first Vectron, and I wanted to buy one. And I saw the fire livery and thought it was cool. I saw the horses livery, thought it was cool. Joyce loves horses. So I started swinging towards the horse one and jokingly would call it Joyce's Vectron. And I couldn't decide which one, and I was getting frustrated. It's like, I want them both. And finally, Joyce just looked at me more exasperated than meaning it. But she just said, just buy them both. Just buy them both. And I was like, oh, okay. Bing, bing. Bought them both. So I don't have a first Vectron. I have a first pair of Vectrons. Well, hello, Sir Christopher from Mondoni. And hello, Sir Darren. Again, happy Easter to those who celebrate. Happy weekend to those who don't care. Yeah, I think there was a part of her that was hoping I would say, nah, I got to just pick one. But she said it, and I went, okay. And she was like, fine, do it. All you have to do is talk to Christopher. I think Brian Finn was there, but Christopher from Christopher's Hobby Blog, Woodgate Junction, Gaijin, he changes his channel name a lot, depending on where his mood is, which is, cool. Okay. All I got to do is look at his channel name and say, okay, he's working on this now. But anyhow, Christopher, and hi, Christopher, you're in the back, and hi to all people watching in the back, various Marks and Andys and more. Mark from Donegal Dad was there, and Andy from March West Junction, I think, was there at the time. Brian Finn from Finnerton Central when we were at Getz. And actually, we weren't at Getz. We were at the Warley show at, my brain's not working right now, Stafford Barn. That's it, I think. But we were at Stafford on the Saturday morning. And I had gone, and my goal was to come home with a TPE, Trans-Pennine Express class, 68. That was the one thing I was for sure was going to bring home from our quick trip over to the UK for Getz and Warley 2024. But while everybody was kind of talking, and Andy and Mark from Dunnacle Dad were like, okay, they got to, they've got people coming up and they got to run the layout. I went over to this table right next to where there's, their layouts here. There's a little walkway right here, and just right across from their display, there was a guy selling trains, and he had this, which you're seeing there, that Class 68 Scott rail. And I just thought it was gorgeous. And then it's like 120, 125 pounds. And as I'm talking about, I go, oh, that's really pretty. I really like that, but I really wanted a TPE. And he's like, oh, I didn't bring any TPEs. And talking to the guy, really friendly chat, talking, I'm into European trains, blah, 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 and all this. It's like, all right, I'll do you a favor. 105 pounds if you take it off me right now. And I can't. I really got to look, and I can't. I don't want to buy both. Oh, you can take the. And Joyce is over watching me as I'm, I really can't. Joyce talks to whoever she was talking to. I know it's Christopher as well. She's like, he's going to buy it. I don't know why he keeps telling himself no. I know he's going to buy it. Which I did. And so after I walked over and said, honey, I think I really got to buy this, they all started laughing at me. And I'm like, why are you guys laughing at me? Joyce said you were going to buy it. It's like, yeah, Joyce knows. Joyce, she sees that debate. She didn't even come over and tell me to buy it. She was just letting me suffer through the mental torture of trying to decide whether to buy it or not. Oh, you bastard. Oh, I got too happy. Why are you guys? Well, I know why, because it's that crappy switch. I really need to take it out. It just randomly opens up. I'm not going to do it live on air. One more project. Take out the crappy. Okay, who else is off? Oh my God. You are pissing. Stop opening. So now one of those switches is acting up and saying, I think I'll open right now. No, just stop. At least I didn't have a crash. All right, good night, Mara. Yeah, I've got a bad one. It went bad about 3 months after I grassed everything up. So I'm assuming some of the glue got up underneath and messed with it. And so every now and then it's broken. It's kind of broken. So every now and then it will just vibrate open. And certain heavy trains do it worse. It usually is fine, but I need to dig it out and replace it. I have actually already bought the replacement. If it happens to open again, I'll just change direction of the train because it won't affect traffic either way. It just means I'd have 3 trains running the same loop in the same direction. Boy, I just cannot. Relax, relax. Find your inner peace. Oh, by the way, hello, Monsville. I didn't catch you in. You can't fix it with the screwdriver. I have to dig out the point, rip up the grass that's around it, which, that would be a 20-minute fix, 30-minute fix once I replace the point on it. I actually have another point I wanted, a double slip I want to replace because one of the motor or the decoder in it is acting up. But that's the one that's got the broken phalange on it, which is the one I want to replace. You found your inner peas and they were mushy. I wanted to have inner peas because I'd have to eat the peas, and I don't eat peas. Woo. So, as I said at the start, it's not Good Friday for some. Of course, if you're over down under New Zealand and Australia, it's Saturday. It's not Friday anymore. Oh, how so, EFO? Because I love those Rail Force Ones, and several companies have released them, but I've got the Märklin 9000 on reserve. But the funny thing is, the train I thought would be the problem is running fine. And we got a problem again. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to step over this, but I can reach it this way. Just a random uncoupling is all. Hate to stop everybody for that little thing, but I had to go back. Now, what are you popped up for? Oh my goodness. It's like it's something different each time. Okay, a point's going to act up. Oh, this card's going to uncouple. Oh, wait, no, this thing's going to uncouple. It's just a little something different each time. Because having one problem, you can solve it. Something just skipping around, different lanes, different trains. Well, that was just a random uncoupling. It happens. But they're all happening today. Well, I was worried about the one, but yeah, the one, yeah, I'm trying to jinx the one because that one coming right up there, the long one with the container, that was the one I'm worried about. And it's doing fine. The Flixtrain is fine. My Class 648, that little guy running in the inner circle, he never has a problem. So today we have a problem. The Railjet's running fine right now. Technically, the ICE2 is running fine. The point on its track, not the point, the double slip that's on its line back here, that's acted up. And then, the locomotives are all running fine. Just random uncoupling, like in this train where it uncoupled between the little gray silver car there and the red hoppers behind it. Just random uncoupling. Hi, Sir John. Thanks for popping in. The family is fine. My daughter's recovering well. My older daughter, my oldest child. She's getting into that phase with the early stages of pregnancy, relatively early. I think she's 14 weeks now, 15 weeks. I'm okay. Got a couple of health issues that I can't aren't going to be dealt with until the first week of May. Nothing I can do about it. That's the earliest the specialist can see me. Oh, we just had a big pass. I should have opened that camera up, darn it. I'm out of my rhythm, so I'm not changing the cameras. I don't know, Random Uncoupling could be the name of the band, KJ. Here they are, live, Random Uncoupling. I said, uncouple once, uncouple twice. Come on, train, you're not playing nice. There should be a way, if one of your trains uncouples or derails, you should have a different sound for each train to go off to help you. Boy, that would be weird. They'd really have to. How about we just make them so they don't uncouple? Railjet says, I don't have time for this. I'm flying. Hey, we get a passing. Double the pleasure. I'll tell you what, those Flixtrains stand out, don't they? Well, welcome, GRE 2057. Happy Easter to you, if it applies. The only thing we do for Easter is we have all the family. My son and his wife went to Chicago, and then they're going to leave from Chicago and come in Sunday morning and have dinner with, or Sunday morning, see her parents in the morning, hit us for dinner, and then go back home. That is the truth, Monsville and Artie and everybody else. Yeah, trains seem to have a mind of their own. You can run them 10 times on a live stream and they're smooth, and then one time they'll be problematic, and then you run them again to see what the problem was, and you never see the problem again. Like I said, that little 648, that little guy on the inner loop, that little blue guy with yellow trim, he is my third oldest train. He was the third thing I ever bought. I bought the ICE-3, I bought the Märklin Regio Bahn and Class 146, and then I bought that one. So I bought them all within the first 6 months I was in the hobby. And he's one of my favorite little runners. I've never had any kind of issue with him. And today, literally today, after 312, 313 live streams, whatever I'm on, 313, that's the first time he's derailed or had any kind of an issue. I just find, it's just one of the most consistent. I know it's a small DMU, so it doesn't have to have a strong motor, but it is a consistent motor. It's a strong motor. It's a quiet motor. The thing is a cool looking model. I love the 648s. I just wish I could find a couple of more that I could dummy them up and then join them together. So you could have them in their typical three alignment, because they usually run in packs of 3, sets of 3. But it's a fantastic, and I've had it for going on 10 years now. It's Märklin 37714. No, 37734. 14 is the other one. 37734, I believe. Well, the Gremlins haven't come out in a while, but it's been a couple of months since we've really had Gremlins. But yeah, today they've made a comeback. And it's the worst type of Gremlins, because it's not like one track or one train that is being a problem where you can sort it out. It's just, this train, a couple of cars uncoupled. Oh, this over here derailed. Oh, look, this point just randomly opened. Oh, look, the ICE-4 just randomly decided to start moving. Now, you could say the problem with digital, where it somehow got a signal and told it to start moving. I just wish I had seen it moving earlier before it crashed into another train. Fortunately, it wasn't head on. It crashed into the side. Oh, yuck. You had a huntsman, and now it's babies in your train room. Yuck. Well, hello, Sir Dirk of Chesty Trains. But again, I would say over 313 live streams, I had a bad streak there with the internet and then Gremlins, where I went about 8-9 live streams in a row where I had things going wrong, and I could always get them sorted within the first half hour. And then I probably had 8-9 live streams in a row now where I haven't had a problem. But before I had that real string, the only problems we ever had was internet. We never had the trains acting up. But this particular rendition of my layout is now 6 years old, 6 to 7 years old. And it's had a lot of work done on it the last year. I know it doesn't look like it's had a lot of work on it, but compared to what it looked like a year ago at this time to now, it's had a lot of work done on it. But again, I want to remind everybody that I have this home repaired DC. It's not digital, it's analog, class 18. By the way, this is I didn't mention the model, it is a Rivarossi. This is a Rivarossi class 18. So I will put up a second video. I'll do a quick video, like 5 minutes. And because I got these things I'm giving away. They're DC. I've got AC versions of them. I don't need the DC versions of them. And then I've got this guy plus the 3 cars. So this class 218, this is DCC ready. You can put a decoder on it, but it does not have a decoder. It has a blinking plate and it runs in analog mode right now, but it can be made digital with the addition. All right, good night. Hi, thanks for hanging out with us. HST problem below. Yeah, wow, yep. Oh, just a random uncoupling. Did I say something? You have to act up again? Stop uncoupling. There is no reason for you to uncouple. I don't want to hear irreconcilable differences. Oh. Oh, that trailing car was whining that it always has to be the end and it wants to go first for a change. You know, it's sort of like when people whine about my trains with control cabs going locomotive first all the time. So that this HST, that 43 at the other end is just full of piss and vinegar because it has to bring the end around. Yeah, it feels like a Friday the 13th. Funny thing is, February's Friday the 13th and March Friday the 13th, I had absolutely no issues. So apparently they were in a drunken stupor and the gremlins are just waking up. Yeah, the problem is, Chris from the Valleys, is I've been spoiled for years. I'd start my live stream and my train, I just sit back and the trains run. So now that I'm occasionally having gremlins, or like today where it's just really crazy. Normally I get it sorted when I was having that bad string of about 5 or 6 in a row, and it did it again. All right, we know how to fix that. There. He doesn't want to be a part of the train. He's not a part of the train. Hey, Curly. Well, the thing is, that would make more sense, Andy. That would make more sense because as they're running and things heat up, because, think about it. Metal couplings or even plastic couplings, the longer they're running, there's little changes in speed going uphill where everything pushes. They rub against each other. That's going to create heat. So you would think the longer they run, you'd have the problems. But usually my gremlins are at the beginning and I can sort them out. Today is that one where it's just something different with each train. And we're going an hour and a half. We made about 20 minutes without a problem. And then the HST down here started acting up. And those of you guys know the HST, every now and then it has issues where it doesn't want to go speed, but overall it runs really well. Today it's acting up. Did I see Dino has to check out? All right, Dino, you take care of yourself. Thanks for popping in. I'm just hoping they'll straighten up and fly right before Joyce gets down here. I think next week I'm going to run some of the old tin plates. So what I'll do is I'll put up a little video maybe later tonight or tomorrow and just do I'll do it as a video rather than as a post, because I think as a post, it's like me. I miss 90% of people's posts, although as Chris from the Valleys will point out, I seem to always find his. Oh, I clean my tracks regularly. I've got multiple tools for clean my tracks, and it was only a few weeks ago I cleaned my tracks, but it's just sometimes random universe, the tilting of the earth and everything else, because if it were one consistent problem, you can blame it on a track or a train. When it's just scattered, this train is derailing and then it stops and it never derails again. And then all of a sudden, this train uncouples. Or down here, this train is uncoupling and it's never had an uncoupling issue. Just sometimes random things in the universe line up, and I mean, everything about the universe is random anyhow. But out of 313 live streams, I think you could say there's less than 10 that were really problematic. And this one is being about as problematic as I've had. You missed 90. Yeah. My thing is, like when I go to my computer, which is where I comment from, I don't comment from the phone. But when I go on my computer, you have the newest thing YouTube is doing is most relevant. So they'll give you a video you watched 4 days ago, but it's at the top. It's like, I already watched that one. And why does that one classify as most relevant? And then I have, 2 lines of that on my screen. And then I have a line of shorts. But there are a few channels. And I hope I could say this without it hurting somebody's feelings. But there's 3 or 4 channels I'm subscribed to, maybe more, that they'll put up 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 posts a day. And so my entire post feed is filled with their posts. And I don't go back and go through posts. And the same thing with the shorts video, where I've got a few channels that just put up all kinds of shorts. And they'll put up 7, 8, 9 shorts a day. And that's on top of some channels I follow that will put up anywhere from 5 to 10 full videos a day. And that can plug up my lives, that can plug up my stream trying to find who posted what. Because I look for videos. I don't look for shorts. I don't look for posts. But if I see one, and especially from somebody that doesn't post anything often, I will then note if I notice it, I'll watch it and comment. But in most cases, I don't. And I've got to the point now where if somebody puts up like 7 videos in a day, I just watch all 7 videos and then comment on the last one saying, nice series of videos today. Yeah, YouTube's changes are frustrating. Yeah, speaking of that, Artie, dude, you screwed the pooch. I don't know if you took it down and reposted it, but you started the joke. You started the joke and you got the completely wrong street. I live on Beachway, and you said major model train robbery on Maple Way. I don't live on Maple Way. So somebody on Maple Way got robbed, Artie. Somebody on Maple Way got robbed. And I'm really curious what German police were doing investigating a model train theft in Toledo, Ohio, USA. Well, there's that, Derek. But then again, Derek, YouTube is also the cause of many, or give you the opportunity to have some, depending on what videos you got. I said you got it wrong. There's always tweaking, but you know, the big issue, and let me change cameras here because I've been on this one for a while. Let's go to the long view again. Hello, Sir Aaron, and hello, did I see Sir Josh Cannon is here? There he is. Hello, Sir Josh. And hello, Sir Aaron. You know, this is the nice thing about, and again, it's everybody's got their view, but the Märklin C-Track system, it is almost foolproof until you start trying to do something really fancy. But when you just want to run long loops like I do, Märklin C-Track makes it easy as pie. Easy as 3.14. It's a oh yeah, and I heard about that because Barclay got their system rated. One of their Associated American bank chains they own got, you know, people are now all having to get new credit cards and that. Because yeah, Barclay got their systems got hacked. But yeah, the C-Track just makes it. Now, some of their things like, yeah, I've got 8 double slips on my layout now. I've got 8 double slips, or is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I've got 7 double slips on my layout. And I have 1 that's being faulty. So 1 out of 7 for as very intricately designed as these are, I guess is not too bad. I mean, I would prefer 7 out of 7. But otherwise, on my main track, if there's one thing we could say, when I'm having problems, it's either in the couplers or it's something mechanical with one of the pieces of rolling stock. The track is smooth and the trains run smooth on it. When it's a derailing issue, it's usually not the track issue, it's the wagon issue. The wagon's got a bad bogie. The wheel alignment's not quite right on it. Yeah, it's a tough call, Monsville. But unfortunately, we got too many things being, I don't know, a lot of social media being used by people for nefarious purposes. And since places like YouTube like to wash their hands of it, like we're not involved, like the YouTube copyright strike and copyright claim issues, I could go on to any one of your videos and make a copyright claim, and you would have to fight me in court. Except now YouTube has a counter. Like if you counter the claim and I don't respond to your counterclaim, then they go back to the preset. But like I had some random company make a copyright claim on one of our parody songs from 4 years ago, 5 years ago. They just filed a copyright claim, except they're not the producer of the music and they're not the owner of the music copyright. They tried to find, like, that's our version of that song. It's like, no, it isn't. It's this. So I went to YouTube and said, this is the version I'm using. Here's their permission for me to use it. Check the encoding. And so they denied that other group's claim. But there's a company in Canada that it started as a group of students at British Columbia studying copyright laws, and they got out of control where they started as a good thing to protect artists and artists, to protect artists from people infringing on their copyrights. They just went through and copyright claimed everybody that was using it, whether they checked to see if they had permission to use it or not. I don't always have permission, but I've got like 6 channels that I have blank permission to use their instrumental songs. Because they let me monetize it if I wanted to monetize it. I never monetize my songs, but these people have said I can monetize because they'll share the revenue 50-50, which I think is awesome. But I don't monetize because, while yes, it's my lyrics, it's their song. They created the song, but in some of these cases, it's not even their song. They're just somebody who performs instrumental versions of famous songs. Like there's this one channel, he's a Japanese guy, Ryo Konamari. Ryohei Kanamade. But anyhow, I've got permission to use his stuff, but he plays all the instruments, but he does Beatles songs. And I've used his instrumentals a lot. The biggest thing is you just have to watch out using anything by the Eagles. Oh my God, the Eagles. I actually was doing a Hotel California parody and I stopped it very quickly in writing. I started writing it and then I said, wait a minute, this is the Eagles. If you do anything with, even if it's somebody else, like if you're in your video playing an Eagles song, you're playing the guitar yourself, whatever, the Eagles will still shut you down. You try to do a documentary on Eagles song, and it's basically Don Henley. He is such a douchebag. Hey, Kieran, Sir Kieran. J94, JP94. But yeah, there are people who write their own songs and they get copyrighted claimed by their production company. And then they have to literally go to their manager and tell their manager to tell their production company, that's me. But the guys who have the hardest problem with at least music copyright claims are the guys that do music group bits, like Wings of Pegasus, Rick Beato. What's his name? He's pretty much left YouTube. The Professor of Rock, because the companies go after them big time. And even though they win their copyright fights, they have to keep doing copyright fights. As soon as they post a video, one of these record companies comes in and puts a copyright claim on it, and they have to fight and say this is legal, blah, 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 blah. But you have to have your lawyers ready to fight it in court, and you have to pay lawyers to do that. And even though you win, you're still paying. And Professor Brock was like, he doesn't make enough money to keep fighting all these battles, to keep a lawyer on retainer. Well, the Eagles have a lot of good songs. I don't know if I'd even say they did a good album. They have a lot of songs I like. Joyce and I are split. But yeah, their arrogance and their greed, because there comes a point where it's greed. You understand, as a published author and artist, I'm very aware of copyright issues. I have to stay up on copyright laws. I have had to go back in the day, go onto websites and found people using my either articles I wrote for Tolkien Society or other works I had done, and were using them and claiming them as their own. And I did it without lawyers, but I filed the right. And this is before there was the automated copyright claim stuff. I had to send cease and desist orders and blah, blah, blah. So it's tough because people can steal your work. You know, when I do a parody song, I'm fully aware I didn't write that song. I wrote new lyrics to it. Well, hello, Sir Simon. You're from Erkundung, Scotland. Aha. Discovery, Scotland. Yeah, Greg, it was Don Henley and Greg Fry together. But now that, basically, if you haven't paid attention, Don Henley has pretty much kicked pretty much all the original members of the Eagles out, and he's trying to cut them off financially too. What he did to J.D. Souther and Randy Eisner, he screwed them over big time. All right, Dirk, well, thank you for hanging out with us. It was an honor to have you all the way from Western Canada. But yeah, it's, you know, we who use other people's work, you know, it's an ugly and slippery slope to try to fight battles and where to draw lines. But like I said, when you're doing, you know, that's why there's copyright laws and they have all the exceptions for the sake of documentarian. Like, I'm going to review this album. It's not like you're not going to give those people a piece of the pie. But if I'm doing a 2-hour video, where I'm doing all the research and the work and I'm putting the song, I'm putting the video together, and I'm paying a crew to edit and film and blah, 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 as we do this documentary, I shouldn't have to pay 50 to 70% of the money I'm putting into that I make off of this video to the guys just because I used 2 minutes from a total of 2 minutes from 6 songs. I shouldn't have to split that 50-50. While it is their work I'm contenting, my critiquing is my own. It's my own work. My production of that documentary is my own work. Yes, it's based on their work. So yes, they deserve a piece of what I do. But in a lot of cases, the artist gets 60 to 70% of what you make on the documentary. You know, I get if I were to monetize any of my parody songs, I would get a 50-50 split according to YouTube. Unless you get a double copyright. What's that? Well, the artist performing the music and the person who owns the right to the music, and then it becomes a three-way split. The original producer, or owner of the rights to that music, the person whose instrumental version I'm using, and then me. And I don't think it should be a 67-33 split in that case, because I did write the new lyrics. Yes, I'm using their song, but I did write those lyrics. Oh, well, that's the worst one, Artie. The worst one is when a new company buys the rights to a music portfolio that was originally free, or that the content creators allowed you to use for free, but they go in and buy it and then say, okay, now you have to pay us, even though when you used it, it was given to you free. Now you can take that to court in the United States and win it, but it's a very expensive case to fight. And you better have that money up front to pay the lawyers and hope you win. But this happened to, I don't know how many of you guys know, but nobody questioned the title of my live stream today. I don't know if people even look at the titles of my live streams, but all 313 of my live streams are lines or titles from songs with the word because put in them. And so the title of today's live stream is Because He Tried to Kill Me with a Forklift. And I don't know if anybody gets that reference. You'd probably have to be an American and into... He tried to kill me with a forklift. Well, hello, Sir Leslie. It's been a while. What's running tonight? Well, I'm running my Austrian Railjet, who'll be coming around the corner in your view right here, right now. And then I'm running a couple of Vectrons with freight. And then I'm running that little 648 blue and yellow guy in the back. And then I'm running a Flixtrain, which also, I'm running 3 Vectrons today, 3 Vectrons. The reason you wouldn't have gotten today's is it's from a show called Mystery Science Theater 3000, MST3K, and it's from a 1990 episode where they were making fun of this movie called Fugitive Alien, Star Force Fugitive Alien. And it's this 1970s, early 80s Japanese TV show, science fiction show that's kind of a ripoff of Star Wars. But anyhow, there's a scene in there where a guy tries to kill another dude by driving a forklift into him. And so the guy starts singing a song to the tune, the theme song from that show. And it's, he tried to kill me with a forklift. And so, but the show MST3K is an American cult phenomenon, and I know it was popular. People in Germany loved it. People in the UK loved it. MST3K, or Mystery Science Theater 3000. Basically, they show an old science fiction movie, and then they make bad jokes while watching it. They just rip on it, or riff on it, as they called it. And now the guys do different things. They still do occasionally Mystery Science Theater 3000, but 3 of the guys now do a show called Riff Tracks, which does the same thing, where they show movies and they make fun of them. But anyhow, this was a very popular cult show. And once they started releasing their episodes on DVD, a couple of greedy companies went in and bought the rights to some of these low budget. Some of these were even in the public domain, but they went out and bought the rights to these low budget movies. And so when Mystery Science Theater said, hey, we want to release this, they were like, well, you got to give us $50,000. And they're like, no, that's way too much for what? And the companies would not budge. So certain episodes have never been released on DVD because there's a couple of companies that bought the rights to these low budget movies. Like there's a British movie called The Killer Bees. They have never been able to release that episode on YouTube or on DVD because the company that now owns it refuses to let it be sold out because they think MST3K was being rude to the movie, that it was a quality movie, and how dare these American slime balls make fun of this excellent movie. So they won't release that one. Indeed, and I know exactly the one you're thinking of, Simon. You need new glasses. But so, yeah, I mean, copyright can get real ugly because these movies were nothing, and you literally could buy the rights to the movie, or like you could get 10 years rights to the movie for $1,000. And when you think that the DVD release would make $1 million easy, yeah, these guys are really greedy bastards about it. And that's why, even to this, up until they were doing Blu-rays, you had regionalized DVDs and video games. You still have regionalized video games, which is annoying as hell. All right, Ray, have a good night. Take care of bowling. Well, hello, Sir Mike. And he says away from keyboard. Okay, but hello anyhow, Sir Mike. Now, Joyce did not work today, so she's got no excuse for being on time if you're listening, Joyce. Oh, I've seen all the Bond movies so many damn times. Definitely over 20 each, except for View to a Kill. Of all the Bond movies, that is probably my least favorite, View to a Kill. She's not cooking dinner. First of all, I'm the cook. Secondly, it's way too early for dinner. All right, Sir Scott, thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. But we've now gone, half an hour without the gremlins. Apparently, hopefully they're satiated. And for Duran, that's it. There's also one of the Roger Moore ones I really just can't tolerate. Moonraker is not good. Moonraker is not a good one, but it's not awful. Octopussy. Now, if you're a straight hormonal male, then Octopussy is worth a watch. Once maybe if you just want the TNA, but overall it's just there's some great parts to it that they just left out all the cheesy TNA action. It could have been a great Bond movie, but as it was, Roger was getting old and the acting was very bad. The storyline was very bad. And the cheesy fight scene at the end was just awful. We have a visitor. Oh boy, I tell you. It's only the last half hour that I've actually gotten this thing to settle down and actually
I know.
run.
I can hear. I was hearing your phone.
Oh my god.
All right. Well,
gremlin after
hey,
gremlin.
first of all, hi everybody. Hi Tom Houston. Hi Tom Couples. Hello Raymond. Leslie bought a Swiss train in East Trenton. So hi there, Chris Valley. Hello, Mike.
Yeah, the class 20 from Goldeneye, which was redone to look like some sort of Russian monster.
That's funny. Hello, John. I didn't think I was sneaking. Hi, Artie. Hi, Great Northern.
Well, they can't see you because the flags.
Hi, Leslie. Oh, they were seeing me. Hi, Rula Blue. Hello, Josh.
It's KJ.
It's KJ, okay. Hi, Mystic.
Notice she doesn't greet you with the regal titles.
Good evening, Chuck. Nah. Hello, Sir Fix-a-Lot. Hello, Kieran. Hello, Simon.
You've got today's the first day of break face on.
Yeah, I'm still really tired. Yesterday was tough.
She came home and
Eyes
crashed.
above the neckline, gentlemen. Yeah, I did. Hello, Victor Van Vliet.
She came home yesterday and just...
Oh, we had this last week. Victor Van... It's not Vliet. It's
Van
not
Vliet.
Valet. Van Vliet. It's Vliet, that's right. Victor Van Vliet.
That's supposed to be.
Hi there, Orville. Well, we were... did not have school today. We've started our spring break. So today's a little bit of catch up and clean a little bit.
You didn't see the last couple of Bonds,
So
then,
hi,
did you,
Monsville.
KJ?
Hi, Monsville.
He got shot the last time he was on a train, and then he fell off of it.
End of the term here, so they have 2 weeks. Oh, school holiday. Or the, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we have a week and 1 day, but it's 2 weekends, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
You get Good Friday off, and then the week after Easter, and that's our spring break.
That's our spring break. That's all right, though. We've got 37 days left after that, and then a year until I retire.
2 weeks. You get 2 weeks at Christmas. You get about 2 weeks at Christmas, sometimes
Oh,
shorter.
that's cool, Chris. Yeah, I went to the grocery store, and I had a couple stop me. Did you actually go to Abbey Road? I said, yes, I did. When did you do that? Oh, Lord, I don't know.
Say what?
Yes, when did you do that? I said, oh, Lord, I don't know. 5 years
June
ago?
2022.
So,
June of 2022.
so 4 years,
so 4
ago.
years ago.
All right, it wasn't that far off. So I told him a few things he did, and they were just, you could feel how jealous they were.
Yes, a lot of them are UK
They want to know
Beatles.
everything Beatle we did. So, and I told them you were knighted as a Scouser, which they thought was very funny. So,
See, I should ask you what
he
you
did
what
ask me, next time you go, let me know if you have an extra T-shirt. Like I'm ever going to see this man again. But it's sort of funny. Hi there, Andy.
Gotta go brewing.
Never ride a helicopter in a Bond movie, that's for sure. Uh-oh, what happened? Brewing crisis. Oh, dear. Is coffee going over or what?
Or beer.
Yeah. Well, What do you reckon? Get some HO figures, James Bond and his enemies fighting on top of a train.
Well, there's a couple of times he fights on trains, or he does the Orient Express in From Russia with Love.
Crises.
What?
I said many crises are brewing.
Well, there's that.
Oh, Hardy said a waste of glue, Randall. Not a James Bond fond. A fond of James Bond, is he? Hardy. So.
Oh, humans brew a lot of crises.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll just stop there.
The train in Istanbul and Skyfall. They were on the train. Did they fight on the train?
My favorite story.
I remember that. I remember the scene. I just don't know how it ends.
My favorite story From Russia with Love, which is still one of my favorite Bond movies. Although I also love Live and Let Die. See, I'm not one of those people that Sean Connery is the only Bond. I love Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. That was a wonderful modernization of the novel into this era. And it was about as close to a James Bond novel as any of the movies have ever been.
Really, that was a very good scene.
But with From Russia with Love, the tragic story, the actor who played, he was a Mexican actor playing the Turkish head of T Branch.
Right. It was the train in Istanbul. Loved his character steals the movie. Yeah, he's his character, good.
But he was dying of cancer while filming, and he died before the movie was released. But he steals that movie. Kerim Bey, that's it. His character is Kerim Bey.
Kerim Bey, that's what I was trying to remember. Kerim Bey. Woman who was yelling his name at the beginning.
They are all my sons.
Oh, Kerim Bey.
In this business, you trust your family.
Yeah.
He should be. He is my son. Are all your closest guys your son? Yes, I find it safer that way. Oh, I loved him.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
He was
Hello, March West.
Like I said for the third time now, his character steals that movie.
The original black and white Casino Royale had David Niven.
But it's not black and white. It is in color. It's a trippy psychedelic movie. And it's got, it was David Niven plays the old James Bond, and Woody Allen is playing his nephew, the new James Bond. And they turned it into a psychedelic comedy, and it was just weird.
Yeah, it very much was.
It was very weird. Not Jaws fun to watch. It's got some funny scenes in it, but it's not fun to watch.
Jaws was both comedic and terrifying.
What?
The character Jaws.
Oh, he was awesome the first time they brought him. When they brought him in for Moonraker, it was just kind of cheesy, and they weren't too many jokes. Did like the little German girl he hooked up with. Except she was a blonde. Of course, German and blonde almost go hand in hand. Yeah, there was a Casino Royale as a TV movie, a made-for-TV movie. And in fact, I don't think it was that one, but Roger Moore played James Bond in a 1950s TV thing, and then 20 years later, or 15 years later, came back and played James Bond again. So was he the first James Bond? Was Roger Moore officially the first James Bond? Or did somebody else play Bond in another television made-for-TV James Bond thing before Sean Connery?
I'm sure you can look that up.
I like Sean Connery, but in all honesty, Sean Connery's James Bond, there's a lot not to like about him.
Some legal issues, yeah. Massachusetts. Oh, you went for the movie Jaws.
Oh, yeah. There were copyright issues because the people that bought Casino Royale for the TV version 1950 still owned the rights and refused to give them up. And so they finally were told that they had a window of time or they lost the rights. And so they went out and let this psychedelic piece of crap Casino Royale get released in the 60s. And then it took another 20-some years of wrangling to get the rights back.
Mm-hmm.
But that was also the issue why Dr. No was the first movie, because they wanted to do Casino Royale, which is the first book and thus should have been the first movie. So Dr. No became the first movie.
Played Bond in a 1956 South African radio adaptation of Moonraker.
Yes, well, there's the radio adaptation. So yes, actors.
Hi, Bohemia.
So, hey, Bohemian.
Bohemian H.
Yeah, there's an N and then an H
Then an
after
H.
it.
Yeah.
Bohemian H.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
But Moonraker went from being about a missile and ICBM
All right.
and became the space thing, master race, blah, blah, blah bit. Again, there's some good scenes in Moonraker, but overall, I like Live and Let Die, and one of my favorite sets, one of the least critically acclaimed. I love The Man with the Golden Gun. Other than Britt Ekland's cheeky acting, and in defense of her, she was only asked to be there to show her bosom and butt. She wasn't. But again, that's one of the things I have trouble with James Bond is all the Bond girls, they're either wickedly evil or they're incompetent good ones.
Mm-hmm.
The women are either, like Britt Ekland's character in Man with the Golden Gun. But I that's one of the finer movies, and it's actually a better recreation of the book. But I like Man with the Golden Gun. I think its problem was it came out too quickly. Because I think Live and Let Die came out in 73 and Man with the Golden Gun came out in 74 or early 75. And they were like, bing, bing. You got another track working with No More Gremlins. That's cool. Yes, Ursula Andress
That's good, Josh.
well, let's face it, and again, if you're heterosexual male or lesbian or bisexual, we all have seen the famous coming out of the water scene with that very lovely bathing suit. But I will tell you this, as beautiful as she is, she's not as beautiful to me as Domino from Thunderball. Probably because Domino's a brunette.
Yeah.
I think Ursula Andress was very beautiful. A little bit of a mannish face. I still think the woman who played Romanova in Dr. No is prettier than Ursula Andress. Or I'm sorry, Ursula Andress was in Dr. No. From Russia with Love, Natalia Romanova. I think she's prettier than Ursula Andress.
Oh, our man Flint. Oh my.
Oh, Our Man Flint. Yeah, In Like Flint and Our Man
too.
Flint. Yeah. I love the first one. The second one just a little too.
Yeah. But they were too cheesy.
I always want to say misogynistic. Silly women, you can't run the world. Let us men do it.
Went to Lidl and bought 3 bags of 2 kilograms of potatoes. 8 pence each. 3 bags of 2 kilograms of carrots, 8 each. So 48
You were never
pounds.
into the Bond movies. I guess I would say I'm into the Bond movies. I do like them.
Sounds like you did all right there, Bill.
I don't get into the which Bond was better.
Went to the
Some
store
people hated
today
Daniel
and
Craig. I thought he was awesome. And again, to
decided
me,
the prices have gone up a lot. Just
oh
this
yeah,
week.
yeah.
Good grief. I had a few things I didn't buy because it was too expensive.
Yeah, the grocery prices have just gone through the roof here the last week. Gee, I wonder why. Nope, let's not go there.
Yep.
Um,
So wait till they go on sale before I buy them.
But there's, Sean Connery's last one. There's some great parts in that. And of course, Plenty O'Toole was rather fun to watch.
Yeah. But the cuffs and collars one.
Yeah, I will agree with you, Sir Fixlot. I'm sorry if people don't know spoilers. Them killing off Bond in the last one pissed me off. Just get another actor. Don't suddenly do this. Well, James Bond is a code name and anybody can be James Bond. Bullcrap. Just start with a new group, new actor, new M. We all know who they are. You don't have to re-explain.
Okay, already.
It's not like Batman where, hopefully by now you know the story behind Batman, so they don't have to retell his origin every movie.
Right.
But the same with Bond. If killing Bond off, it was a decent movie, but the fact that it was
you don't kill Bond off. Yeah.
You knew they were gunning for that even if you ignored the media talking about it, you knew the storyline was building up to it. Diamonds Are Forever is your favorite. It's not my favorite. Again, I like it. I don't dislike it, but it's got things about it I dislike. There's some terrible, cheesy and stupid.
Oh, no, I didn't think she was bad. Batman's in jail. He saw it on YouTube.
Well, of course, I'm biased, but my favorite James Bond anthems are "Live and Let Die," Paul McCartney #1, and then the dude from Chris from Soundgarden doing the Casino Royale theme. I love that one. I love the Chris Cornell from Soundgarden doing the Casino Royale theme.
Mm. Yeah.
The game that we and play. Arm yourself because no one else gonna find you. They will remind you, and I will find you. I love that one. And then the Jack White, Alicia Keys one,
right,
which was Quantum of Solace, which was
last one, wasn't it?
No, Quantum of Solace was the second one Craig did.
Okay.
And the problem is Quantum of Solace really, first of all, it was nothing like the short story in the book, which takes place on a boat.
Right.
Where it's a husband and wife divorcing, blah, blah, blah. And Bond is supposed to be on vacation, and he's caught in the middle of this. It's a little short story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 12 books, but 2 of the books are short stories. Or one of the books. There's like Quantum of Solace is Quantum of Solace and multiple other short stories.
That was funny, Sean. The Queen.
Oh yeah, where they did that for the Queen, and the Queen actually performed her bit.
Yeah, she did well.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
I loved that. It was probably the best part of the Olympics that year.
Yeah, it's one of the few opening ceremonies we watched.
Because 3 bands that I really liked decided to reunite to perform.
Yeah, that's what they said. Hey, we're playing our music.
Yeah.
Wonder if they know that.
Well, even Blur got back together for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Another Way to Die. I love that song. I have actually a playlist of rock and roll songs that are spy or action movie related. Like it includes the songs from Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. The movie Assassin's Creed I enjoyed.
Yeah, we did.
But the opening theme song and the ending credit song make the movie.
Surround sound.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
That
it was amazing.
And we did a parody.
Both songs just immediately.
Yeah, entrance song by the Black Angels, which is a heavy metal psychedelic band, and we did a parody of the High Speed song because their song is called Entrance Song. We did High Speed song, but the original of that is awesome. I love it. It's a heavy song. Mm-hmm. Rolling fast down I-35, supersonic hyperdrive. Rolling fast down I-35,
Yeah.
Polarized to the night.
Yeah.
Ooh, whoa, whoa,
Josh got 2 track done and running and waiting for his uprise trestle. Got another line. Hi, Ray Central.
You got 2 track done and running, right? And waiting on your trestle. Okay. That's what you were just doing, right?
Yep.
Hey, Sir Ray Central just got here. That's good. Joyce actually beat you here for a change.
Yeah, I did.
But Another Way to Die. I love that.
You just
I
go
love that
watch
song.
Convoy and you feel better.
You just go watch Convoy, the Chris Christopherson movie. They got themselves a convoy. Ain't she a beautiful sight? We got a great big convoy rolling into the night. I had truck driving cousins. They hated that song when it came out.
Yeah.
They were cross countries, big rig haulers. They hated that song. Which is funny because they like, we don't talk like that. It's like, yes, you do.
Oh, it's too much. Too close, obviously.
Yeah. Forced you to look in the mirror more.
Mm-hmm.
Or we got a bear in the air. The Queen was trained by
We
the
like
SAS.
Smokey and the Bandit.
I like the movie Smokey and the
I think you
Bandit.
like.
I like Smokey and the Bandit. What's the matter?
That's not up to date. Break it, rubber duck. I know.
Breaker 19.
Okay.
Problem is, after that movie came out,
You
truckers
got some
complained that
deadlines, eh,
because
Kiwi?
Channel 19 was always taking. Hey, it's Sir Dave. That's all right, Dave. It's great to see you.
Yeah, just
Oh
popping
yeah, what was that one where the truck is trying to kill him?
Oh,
Dennis
was it?
Weaver.
in. Hello, Cayenne and Mama.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's that time. Hey, you didn't take that dozen eggs I was giving you.
Anyhow, we got to go do that. Where are we at? Here we go. All right, if you're new to the channel or in the
plug your
background,
ears.
plug your ears. Plug
Or
your
if you're
ears.
sensitive, plug your ears.
Or just sound sensitive, plug your ears. Well, everybody else knows to plug their ears.
Right. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Kyan! Opa loves you!
Opa loves you!
And we're running your trains, Kyan.
Yes,
I had to
baby.
take a couple of cars off, but we're running the trains.
And I found gluten-free rolls and a gluten-free salad dressing for Val. So I think we're in good shape.
Put the evidence in the car.
Oh, wow. Who's going to have the baby first?
Dad,
You?
I got the evidence.
With one
Put
or
the
me with your
evidence in the
triplets?
car. There's no way, absolutely no way that you could have come from my loins. When I get home, I'm going to punch your mother in the face. You could never get away with that.
No, you sure couldn't. The perfect nickname for Cayenne is Pepper, right?
I don't know about
I
that.
don't think he kind of
Cayenne
knows.
Pepper, but
He knows there are cayenne peppers
his middle name is Link.
after the video game.
He's Cayenne Link. And hello, sweetheart Lindy and Chris.
Okay. So we'll trade on Sunday. Yeah, I'll boil a dozen eggs tomorrow for Easter.
Duel. That's it. John Ricardo was called Duel. The movie with
Oh,
Dennis Weaver,
okay.
where the semi truck is trying to
Yeah.
kill him.
Right.
He ad-libbed a lot of them, yes.
Well, yeah, you can kind of tell, but he was very good. I should do my Daisy. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit the like button. And eyes above the neckline, gentlemen.
Make me.
It was Spielberg's first movie. Why? What do you mean, why? It's above the neckline?
But Cayenne has Cayenne's name is both Celtic, which I think is where Lenny came from it, but I guess Cayenne in Indo-European old Sumeric means destroyer.
Which kind of fits. It's not your fault. My fault you're taller than me.
Well, it's not my fault
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
That goes back. That was like in the Beatles movie Hard Day's Night. I've worked it out.
Can't see the neckline. It's too high.
It's not that I'm taller than you. You're shorter than me. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up,
All
Shay.
those jokes.
Stop being taller than me. I can't help it. I just am. It's a plot, you know, a plot.
Yeah.
Victor Spinetti playing the mad scientist in Help.
Right.
British, you see, useless.
Egyptian
If I had a
racial
Luger,
women, strong or powerful. Yeah. The neckline's
well, the
black
problem
by
is
the
Indo-European
overhang.
goes back before Egyptian.
We're hearing from the short men, my dear.
Hi, Sir Greg
Hi, Greg.
of Midsummer Rail.
Oh, that's rough. Dealing with that stuff again. And hello to Heather.
Oh, we've now gone an hour since the last gremlin reared its ugly head.
Okay.
Took a while to beat them down today. They were bouncing around. I shall make this train uncouple. I shall make this car derail. I shall make this double slip open twice. Australian Greg and Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
well, because that's Greg saying
Right,
that.
right.
The
They're
American
both Greg and Heather's, which is really weird in a way.
Well, you know, he's Great Northern Greg. He's from Minnesota.
Yeah,
I grew
Minnesota.
up, you know,
Yeah.
I was always a Cleveland Browns fan, but my second favorite team at the time back then in the 70s was the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, 3 Super Bowls
Oh.
and 3 losses.
That doesn't sound fun, Randall.
Chuck Foreman, the running back, not to be confused with George Foreman, the boxer. Chuck Foreman, the running back. Amazing defense. Ron Yari, the all-world offensive tackle. Fran Tarkington.
Gremlins ran out of ideas. Oh, don't challenge them. Purple people eaters, yeah.
Just means they're plotting now. Yeah, I started with the Beatles train. The power end kept derailing.
Okay.
So
you
I
took it
finally
off,
gave
huh?
up and took it off.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Artie. Sorry, all of you are
You know,
ill.
my back is...
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I know the 4,
back.
but I wasn't following them in '69 when they lost to the Chiefs.
Okay. Oh,
They
it's
lost 4, but they
100-mile
lost
trip.
3 in that time period.
Yikes. Okay.
That was
that's
back
nice,
when
Greg.
they had Joe Cap was the quarterback. They had Joe Cap as the quarterback. I don't even remember who their head coach was because it wasn't
Keep Gizmo
wasn't
dry
Chuck.
and everything will be fine.
Bud. I said Chuck. His name was Bud. Bud Grant.
And who did they lose the Super Bowl?
But at least they got there. I root for a team that can't even get to the Super Bowl. 4 times they've had a chance to get to the Super Bowl, and 4 times they exploded. Oh, that's right. You had that little run-in with some boys trying to break into his house.
Yikes.
Yeah, you never did give us the full story, Artie. Chris, you seem to know a lot of what Gremlins are doing. Is there anything you would like to admit to right now? You seem to know exactly what the Gremlins are thinking and doing, Mr. Chris of the Valleys, if that is indeed your real name. Or is your real name G. Remlin? The head of G. Remlin Enterprises. Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure, Randy.
But I hate to say this, Greg. I hate to say this.
Together.
But the last time you lost the NFC Championship game, I was glad it happened because I believe that's when, was it Randall Cunningham was the quarterback, and you had that amazing 15-1 season, and I was rooting for the Vikings.
Sure.
I was rooting for the Vikings.
Jumping on the coattails.
My old second favorite team, the Vikings. But then Randall did an interview. That made me angry. Where he sat there and he said, because he was a good Christian, he knew God was on his team side and that they were winning because God wanted them to win.
Wow.
And the minute you have that attitude, I'm against you. And they went out and got embarrassed. And I thought, if you believe God cares about your football team or sports team winning,
never want to see it.
He's got other things he needs to be focused on rather than, that's why I hate it when athletes are, I just want to give all the glory to God, for us winning today.
No, we have not seen.
That's why just once I want to see a player go the other way. I just want to see one player one time in a post-game interview. Bob, tough loss out there. You guys seem to have the game in hand, and then all of a sudden you gave up that fourth quarter comeback. What happened out there, Bob? Well, I'll tell you what happened, Gene. We had that game in hand until Jesus made me fumble. I would love to see that just once. Because you get all those players, C.J. Stroud when he was at Ohio State, yes. Playing off that he's humble. I know it's arrogance when you think, well, God made me special. That's not humble.
Yeah, it's not humble.
God just gave me this ability to throw the football everywhere. That's why you threw 3 interceptions against Michigan and lost.
Right.
That's why in the semifinals.
Forcing that ball in where it really couldn't go.
Oh, there's a lot of very religious ones. I'm not worried about them being religious, but when you start thinking you're winning because God is on your team's side because you're all better Christians than the other side, that's where I draw the line. I don't care. Just don't get that arrogant.
No politics, no religion. Yeah. Yeah, you can get really invested in them.
I'm invested in sports, but I also am outside doing stuff.
Yeah, as I say, we do a lot of both.
But you cannot grow up in my household and not be an Ohio State fan. Ohio State was religion in my house growing up.
Watching footballers, we call it here in America, soccer.
When Ohio State lost, which thankfully in the 70s wasn't too often, you stayed away from my dad for a couple of days until it soaked in.
Yeah.
You found things to do and stayed out of his view. Make sure you had your chores done early. Man. Women have it down on fingernail drumming. I don't know. You don't really do that.
I suppose so.
I don't think you do that. I'm more likely to be doing this.
Yeah.
I do more fingernail drumming than she does.
Yeah, whatever. Enjoy Indiana. All I'm going to say...
You enjoy watching...
was the national championship
I'm so mad at our...
was to the 2 teams that we lost. So...
Yeah, the problem was they put so much mental... If they had played the Big Ten championship game a week later, Ohio State would have beaten Indiana. And then when they had to play Indiana again,
We didn't play Indiana
Our-
again.
Yeah, we did.
We lost to
Oh, that's
Miami.
right. That's right. We lost to Miami
Yeah, we didn't get to them.
because we would have
beaten them. We would have beaten them
were
a
just
second
so
time.
expecting to beat Miami, and the offense just played like crap because Ryan Day does not coach great offense in big games most of the time, unless his job's on the line, which is why they won the national championship after the 2024 season because his job was on the line. You lost to the Michigan for the 4th time in a row. We want you fired. I better do something to save my job. National championship run.
Right.
Oh, Dave Allen is brilliant. I love Dave Allen. But yeah, Ohio State had so much to finally beat Michigan. It was such an emotional thing. They just could not recover. The whole team just knew there was so much pressure. And as a coach, I've been there where you win such a big game, and then a few days later, you have to play another big game. But the problem is, even though that game might be bigger, it wasn't as big as that game. I remember I was coaching a basketball team, and we were in the semifinals, my first year as coach at Leverett. And we were playing a team that had won 34 straight games, three straight city championships. And I put in a game plan of all game plans, and we upset them. We ended their 34-game winning streak. It was in the news. It was such a big deal that we had knocked them off and out of the playoffs. And 4 days later, my team had to play in the city championship game, and we were not mentally ready for it. We just were not. The excitement, the fervor, I did a bad job as a coach trying to get my team to refocus. I thought we had refocused. But we were, and the worst thing in the world is in the city championship game, we had the lead. We were up like 11-6, and their coach called the timeout, and he's cussing at his players, and my players are coming off the bench. It is the largest crowd to this day. It was the largest crowd for a city championship game at that level. We had all the North End because they had never been in a city championship. All the North End, Leverett had never even had a winning season. And all of a sudden, so the whole North End was down, and we were playing on McTighe's home court. And we were playing McTighe, and we had a lead. And when their coach called the timeout with like a minute left at the end of the first quarter, my players were coming off, and you could see they're looking in the stands, and everybody's yelling. And you could see they were already holding the trophy. They were already holding the trophy. And by the time they woke up, we were 30 points down.
Yeah.
I could do nothing to wake them up.
Uh-huh.
Now, we did make a comeback. We got the lead down to 12 points, and we wound up losing by 14. We made a hell of a comeback, but yeah.
Are you a Guardians fan?
Yeah. I'm all the Cleveland fans, all the Cleveland teams. If the team is from Ohio, I'm a fan. So, in the 70s, I was a Cincinnati Reds fan. I'm still a Cincinnati Reds fan, but I don't follow them as much as I do the Guardians anymore. We used to go to Cincinnati Reds games when we were dating, and in fact, our honeymoon was a weekend of Cincinnati Reds games. No, it was supposed to be, but they were out of town.
I was going to say they were out of town. We just found things to do in Covington.
So the Cleveland Guardians, Cincinnati Reds, Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Cavaliers basketball team. Back in the 70s, you had the Cleveland Barons hockey team. Yeah, but the funny thing is, Greg, they were the Cleveland Spiders. That was their very first name as a professional baseball team in the late 1800s, 1890s, 1900, whatever it was. They were the Cleveland Spiders. Then they became the Cleveland something else. Then they were the Cleveland LaJoys, named after their player coach Napoleon LaJoy, who was a Native American. And then a couple of years after he retired, they renamed themselves the Indians in honor of him. But yeah, they had 3 or 4 names before they became the Indians. Now, the thing is, if you're an outsider, you don't know. But the Guardians are a famous thing. There is a big bridge across the river that has 4 different Titan statues, and they're called the Guardians of Cleveland. And they're also, the same 4 figures are also on, I think, the tallest building in Cleveland. I forget which one it is, the Empire Building, something like that. And they're the 4 Guardians, so they're well-known symbols in Cleveland.
No Rolligans in the U.S. then.
But they were the Cleveland LaJoys and the Cleveland Napoleons. For Nap LaJoy. But like Artie went to our local hockey team, which is now the Walleye. But they've had a long history of names. And if you want to know how far back somebody goes, you just mentioned one of like my friend Dean, my late friend Dean, and John and I, when one of the first things we bonded with was old IHL hockey, the old Toledo Hornets and then Toledo Gold Diggers and the Saginaw Generals and the Flint Generals and the Saginaw Gears. The 70s minor league hockey. Well, hello, Zepper. No worries, there's no such thing as being late. You just come in when you can.
Yep, that's what I think too. You're here when you're here. Minnesota Muskies. Got a nice ring.
Yeah, I agree. I do have a problem with the corruption at the highest levels. I was very angry that they allowed the World Cup to be over in, was it Qatar? A few years ago. I was hoping that they would make a statement, and I didn't like the statement they wound up making. I do follow. I follow soccer. I follow professional soccer. I follow the Bundesliga and the British Premier League. Basically, I don't even follow the Premier League. I follow Liverpool, and then I follow Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga. The Spanish league and the Italian leagues, I don't give a rat's ass about. But I watched, and I didn't watch I haven't watched the Olympics in a while. I will watch the women's soccer because, of course, the American women's team, we're ranked number 2 or 3 in the world right now, which I don't get why we're ranked that low. But, you know, I like to bring up the women's team because whenever I'm in Europe, somebody brings up like, oh, you're Americans, you're not into soccer. It's like, I've been into soccer since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And when people say, oh, well, Americans are no good at soccer, I was like, no. Our women have won 4 World Cups and 3 Olympic gold. We're good at soccer. Our men's team sucked because it's a pay-to-play system. And that the coach doesn't really pick the team. He picks who the sponsors tell him to pick. We've given this guy a $20 million shoe contract. He has to be on the team. We've given this guy a $15 million contract. He has to be on the team. And a lot of these guys don't understand putting their egos down and playing for the team. It's all about them. And the women's team went through that recently, where you had some players that were about themselves and their stats and not winning as a team.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
Oh, Randall saying what's going on with the Formula One.
Yeah, Formula One, but there's politics and everything involved in that. Financial shenanigans and everybody. And again, people are very, very, they like this team or they like that team in Formula One, and the other side's cheating. The other side's cheating. The other side's cheating. They're cheating. They're cheating. They're cheating. And you get tired of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we know. This, but we'll tell you it's not true.
Actually, yeah, soccer is football, proper football, true football, World Cup football is the #1 played sport in the United States at every level. More kids play soccer than football, baseball, and basketball combined.
Yeah, Kyan's playing soccer right now.
Yeah, Kyan is playing soccer right now. We
He's
have
a game coming up.
Yeah, he's got a game next week. The problem is we always get judged by the men's team, and the men's team often underperforms because the men's team is put together very corruptly. The history of the American men's team has been big egos refusing to share the field. Yeah, soccer. I played soccer back in the 70s.
Good real men.
Right. Soccer came from the British word association football, which became ASOC football or simply soccer football. And they brought it to America. And we were like, what's that sport? Oh, it's soccer.
Flopping. Yeah,
And we called it soccer. Now everybody yells at us. Blame the British. They're the ones who gave us the word.
Right.
Oh, I agree, Greg. That's annoying at all levels because as somebody who coached kids soccer, you would see kids already flopping, and it'd be like, no. And that's why some of the great players like Neymar, he should never be in the discussion for greatest player because I don't care what the guy could do with the ball. He was one of the biggest floppers in the world. Even Messi is kind of a flopper.
It just takes away from your talent, I think.
Ronaldinho was a big-time flopper. Neymar was the worst of the worst. And we didn't flop when I played. But watching, because I would go watch my school soccer team play, because a lot of the kids were my students on the team. And you would see some of the schools where kids were flopping, trying to draw those penalties. And I hate the flopping, but now we have flopping in a lot of sports. Hello, Papa John.
His first short is for Mr. Dodge Foreign Trains and Gold.
No, KJ. Women's soccer has been good since it was institutionalized because it never got a lot of support, so the women supported each other. The women's team was always built as a team.
Right.
So you had Michelle Akers as one of the first players, and the United States won the first Women's World Cup with a team that had only been formed 4 years earlier. But Michelle Akers dominated that team, but it was all about team. Every player has a job. Every player works together. Your ego gets checked. So even as great as Mia Hamm was, for all the goals she scored, she also led the world in assists. She passed it more than she scored. And that team was always, and all the way until you had, what's her name? The one that finally, towards the end of her career, that's now the all-time leading goal scorer for America.
Julie.
No.
Is this plugged in? Because it's at 41%.
Oh, its plug might be messed with.
Oh, okay.
It says it's plugged in right now. Abby Wambach. Abby Wambach. She was a very selfish player, and most of her career, her team never won a cup with her as the starting striker because she was a very selfish player. And it was only towards the end of her career when her skills had diminished and she realized she needed to work with other players, and you had young Alex Ferguson, that Abby finally won her own World Cup as team captain. And then Ferguson went on and won another cup. But, the men's team, starting at 14 or 15, it's pay to play. You got to come from a rich family. You got to be in all the right traveling leagues. And then you've got to get the right contracts. And then they all show up, and the sponsors, the corporate sponsors, argue with Team USA about, if you want $2 million from us, this kid plays. If you want $5 million from us, this kid plays. And it's never a team that plays together. It's always a bunch of guys who are trying to look big to get Spanish Premier League or German League or Italian league contract. They're playing for themselves. They've never played as a team. We've got the talent to win a World Cup. We don't have the mental.
We don't have the team building.
We don't have the team building format. When you watch Germany play, they've had problems with egos at times, but the times Germany has won is because of, like Jurgi Löw,
Pride of Nation, and
Jurgi Löw, he whipped those egos down and said, you play as a team. And once Jurgi Löw left, the egos took over, and Germany has not been the same since because they've got the ego problem going as well. Not as bad as America does, but yeah. Well, the problem is, even in 92, we screwed up. Although I think it was the 98 men's World Cup team that really had a good team. But there's a guy that was on that team that now does commentary for soccer, Alexi Lalas. And to this day, if I met Alexi Lalas, I would smack him in the face. We were supposed to play Iran. And Iran was all fired up because it's the first time they played the United States in any sports game since the 1979 revolution. And the United States was the enemy. And they were fired up, and they were doing an interview with Alexi Lalas. He was like, oh, man, we don't get into all that political stuff. You know, we don't need that kind of stuff to motivate ourselves, blah, blah, blah. And he was just so laid back. Yeah, we don't need that attitude. And Iran, which was expected to lose that game, beat the United States 5-0. And Alexi Lalas played a horrible game, gave up 3 of the 5 goals himself. It's like, no, when you're playing for your country, you better have that attitude. It better mean something for you.
Mr. Fleet asked.
Yeah, what are favorite railroads? Deutsche Bahn. Deutsche Bahn. That's my favorite.
I would assume that's what yours is. Mine too.
Need a Deutsche Bahn song in the manner of Kraftwerk. Deutsche Bahn. Deutsche Bahn. And actually, there is a song, Deutsche Bahn.
I imagine there is.
By them.
Yeah, of course. Dreyfus Hudson's you can dig up?
Oh, the Helgen being bought by a Curoscale. I mean, it works because Helgen produces things that Curoscale doesn't, and it's cheaper in the long run to just buy the company. And Helgen was not doing well anyhow. So it allows a Curoscale to expand their production. How they did it,
we gave you a choice.
The way they announced it and what they're doing to the dealers that had licensing agreements with Helgen, where they're like, yeah, Helgen's online order now only. Anything name brand Helgen will be online only. You screwed a lot of shops. So I don't think a Curoscale handled it well. I don't have a problem overall with it. It saves the name Helgen. It saves the company Helgen. But I think a Curoscale did not handle the announcing of the business side well, nor did they seem to think it all the way through.
Hey, Canada has a baseball team.
Oh, no. There are professional German baseball teams. We've seen them practicing. Australia has baseball. Canada, of course, has baseball as well. And let's face it.
It's not a true statement.
And let's face it, Ray Central, maybe not half, a third of Major League Baseball in the United States are guys from the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. So they've had baseball for a long time, too.
Tom, that's what he was trying to do, was Kraftwerk.
What's that?
So it must be a Kraftwerk song in there. Bahn, Deutsche Bahn. Nope.
Yeah, I know. We saw it already. But you also had the Australia Rules football field at that park around the corner from you, which I wanted to go. I wanted to bring home an Aussie Rule football. I did, and I did not get one. The one shop had a miniature one, but they didn't have a main one. Hey, there's Sir Dirk from Go Army, Sleep in the Mud.
Hey, Dirk. Yeah, I think you're right, Dirk. So
Helgen made, I mean, from my guys when I got into the hobby, Helgen's HO stuff was mocked heavily by the German guys that were doing Märklin, Roco, Brava, and that. Helgen was not good quality.
So in the Netherlands, so I think you lost that statement.
Yes, you do.
The Welsh thing, it faded nowadays. Okay. Well, I'd say it's faded around here, although I do have a few students the last couple of years.
I played. Baseball was my biggest sport.
Had a few students the last couple of years very into baseball.
Baseball was my biggest thing. I would have liked to have gone into basketball, but we didn't have a basketball hoop where I played in or at my home, so I had to go down to the park and play. But we played street ball, which is a different type of basketball. Then when you go and try out for your coach in basketball, they're like, "Where did you learn to play?" Fire station number 4.
Sorry, I thought you played at the fire station.
Played a lot of guys.
Yeah.
You know how many guys went pro that I grew up with at fire station number 4?
Wow, crazy.
Dennis Hobson played there. Eric Newsom, Todd Mitchell.
Yeah.
Who's the other one? I mentioned Dennis Hobson, right? Yeah.
See all those good ones, and then you didn't develop yourself, huh?
Well, the funny thing is, Eric Newsom, when he ended his high school career, was the all-time scorer in Toledo High School history, and he sucked because he tried to play legitimate basketball, and all you had to do was get in his face and slap the ball and foul him a couple of times, and then but you couldn't do that in real basketball.
Right.
I remember he beat St. John's when we were in the playoffs because he was leading the city in 3-point shooting, and Coach Heinzel's idea was he couldn't beat us by himself. He did. Just let him stand out there and shoot threes.
Right.
Three. Okay. Coach, you might want to cover him. I know. I played against them.
Right. Yeah, people talking about the Helgen trains. You don't have any Helgen trains, do you?
No, I do not have Helgen.
Yeah,
I have nothing Helgen.
What's for dinner? Dessert. That's what's for dinner.
Yeah, dinner is dessert. I think it's a pie.
Yep.
But yeah, we're
So we had pizza for lunch, and that was.
But I heard the same thing about Mahano, but my Mahano Blue Tiger is a beast. That is an awesome locomotive. I love that Blue Tiger.
Yep.
And Kyan loves it now too.
Yeah,
So
right?
I think that was from Dirk. I think the Blue Tiger was from Dirk. So Dirk, your gift to us has now gone through 2 generations, or if that was Andy 81. But Andy 81E was the rail pool, the 186 rail pool or 185 rail pool, 186.
So yeah,
Dirk gave us.
Okay.
But yeah, I had heard nothing but bad things about Mahano, and then Blue Tiger, and then I ran into other people like, no, if you buy Mahano's top line and these models, they're actually very, very good. But don't buy their low end stuff. Don't buy their starter sets and their hobby level stuff.
Yeah, that'd be big enough actually. Okay, he says, yeah, it was from him.
Yep.
Glad Kyan likes it too.
Yeah, Kyan loves the Blue Tiger. It's his favorite.
Hi, Christoph.
Hello, Christoph.
2 minutes left.
Yeah, and yeah, Dirk, seriously,
Ice
it is
hockey,
Kyan.
pizza slice.
It is Kyan's favorite locomotive. That is the first one. When he says, Opa, can I run trains? And I say, yeah. And I said, okay. He says, can I run the Blue Tiger? That's the first one.
Yeah. It's the second one.
The other ones will change.
Gotcha.
But the
Okay.
Blue Tiger always has to be there because I take him up there and I let him pick which ones he wants.
Right.
I hold him up and you pick which one.
Right.
Is this one cargo? Nope. This one? Yeah. I don't like that one. What about this one? This one cargo? Yep, that one. Okay. But it's always the Blue Tiger and 2 others.
Okay. I had the tiger, the thrill of the
And Raymond's going to do I Had the Tiger. It's guaranteed. There it is.
Yeah. Oh, that is cool. Saw it go past his barracks.
So I've never
Well,
even
it'd be
thought
nice
to
if
buy
it
a
does,
Hellion.
yeah.
I've never thought to buy one. But I did get that Mahano, and I would be willing to give another quality Mahano locomotive a try.
Turn the heat on if your tiger's blue, huh? Yeah, well, hopefully that's true.
I will not buy
All right,
Piko
bye, Kieran.
Hobby. Kieran's
Kieran.
taking off.
Yeah.
All right, good night, Kieran. Take care. Because it is that time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's that time. Time for all the hardworking trains to take a rest, although I still got a couple more to turn off. Turn off the Flixtrain. He ran fine today. Had one slight on derail with him, but I fixed that. Whoops. What the heck did you just do, Anthony?
What did you do, Anthony?
I have no idea what I just did. There, that's better. Darn thing.
He hit a button.
I hit the wrong button. Suddenly I had 10 locomotives up on screen for control.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the 10 I was running.
Right. It's a little bit of a problem.
Was somebody still running? Okay. So anyhow, let's go to the
I think
main
it squeaked.
screen. Whew, another Friday has come and gone. Well, Friday's still going for most of you. If you're in Europe, it's just turned Saturday, mainland Europe. If you're in the UK, still got about an hour. If you're in Australia, New Zealand, well, it's already Saturday.
It's Saturday.
So,
Mm-hmm.
no, Raymond, I've had bad luck with Piko Hobby. I will not buy another Piko Hobby. All right. So anyhow, we want to thank you all for once again. No shorts at the end. Everything's good. We're all good. We had a lot of weird gremlin things. It was all over the place. It wasn't like there was one or two consistent problems.
Right.
It was very inconsistent. One train derails. This one jumps a circuit. This one uncouples. That one, yeah. There was only one train that was consistently being a pain in the butt, and it was the Beatles Eurostar.
Yeah, right.
But anyhow, so on that note, we're going to see you next Saturday. Again, I am doing a couple of giveaways. Please watch for the video I'll put out tomorrow sometime. I have a Class 18. This is 2-rail analog. If anybody wants it, I've already explained. I'll take some pictures and explain the situation with this one so that you can see it. So that one's free to a good home. I'm not selling them. I'm giving them away free. And then I've got this one free to a good home. This is a Class 218. This is also analog, but is DCC ready. Just needs an 8-pin chip, I believe they said. And this also comes with 3 matching coaches. This is a German Class 218, the Piko Hobby version. I have tested it. It does run. Probably needs a good running in, and since it's been sitting for a couple of years without really being used. But yeah, I'll do a video. And then next week, Friday, I'll do a couple of quick drawings for the people who say they're interested. You can say you're interested in both, but if you win one, I remove you from the other.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep an eye out for that video. And on that note, the amazing Joyce is going to say, and I are going to say, Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trains. Take care, everybody.
Bye.